Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you guys. Looking ahead to the greatest international competition in 2019 and all the years to come, Rift Rivals. This is really what separates the good from the great when it comes to League of Legends. We're going to do some player rankings for NA versus EU, the 6 players and their subs, because there will be some subs coming over, as we know. And who's the best? Who's most excited to look for? And I'm going to give you a spoiler right now. North America does not have anyone at number 1.
Yeah, well, let's be honest here. That's because secretly at number 1 in every role are the members of Phoenix One. Rest in peace, of course. They have to be there, immortalized as our NA champions, the only NA champions, really, at Rift Rivals.
Never forget group stage MVP 2017, rookie of the split, Mike Young. Where's he now? Team Liquid Academy. He's actually looking decent there.
That's right there for Rift Rivals, ready to go.
He might be coming
secret weapon.
Probably be coming as Liquid sub, so maybe we should have put him on these rankings. But let's start in the top lane, where it's maybe one of the easiest ones to decide who comes in at number 1. Yes, it's going to be Wunder. And outside of that, because he's the clear-cut number 1, no questions asked, I think 2 to 6 for top laners at this event are actually pretty close, and you can compare right through all 5 of them.
Right, I think this is one of those ones that is interesting. Absolutely Wunder, right at the very top, has certainly proven himself to be the top dog here. But when you're looking at these power rankings, you're kind of between 2 and 6. I think there's a lot of room here to put your own opinion into where these players should be. Got Alfari at number 2. I think he has been a guy that's been incredibly consistent for Origin in the performances that he's been delivering for them, whether it's in team fights, whether it's holding his own lane. He has been a rock for them. I thought he's done a great job. Number 3, you move down, Broken Blade, of course, throwing in a little bit of that fresh new blood into the NA scene here, of course, over from Turkey, but it doesn't matter. He's all NA blood here for this tournament.
And for Bwipo, he's a guy who, on any given game, he could be number 2 on this list, and then the next game be number 6. So I figure you even it out, throw him in at number 4. He'll have a performance like he did against G2, where he completely dominated that early game with Broxa, and then the next game he's 0-3 all of a sudden and still going for solo kills.
Yeah, but hey, he's certainly going to be someone to deal with in that laning phase, someone that will be applying a lot of that pressure. I'm looking for someone right below him, someone like Licorice here. I think Licorice is someone that you could argue for sure to be higher up in these type of rankings, depending on the week, depending on their performance. I think right now, heading into this Rift Rivals, you got to slot him in right below Bwipo.
Yeah, and I think Licorice hasn't had the greatest split so far in summer. Let's go to junglers, where, again, the top dog, I think, is an easy choice, especially when you're looking back at the past week in the LEC. Broxa, you bring in a sub to, I don't know what, put some pressure underneath him. Well, it has worked. He is back to World Championship 2018 form. This time, it's him and Jankos that I think are a complete cut above the rest of the junglers at this competition.
Right, and especially given what you've seen at MSI, the performance of Jankos in comparison to someone like Smithy, which, yes, even Smithy is still providing quite a lot for Team Liquid and still does a lot right. But in that type of matchup here, 1v1, and you're looking at what's going to be going on, I full-on expect Broxa and Jankos to take over in that type of matchup. And then as you move down the list, of course, you got to throw Cold in there. Of course, again, talking about Origin, it's that consistency that he's able to bring in that position from him, that leadership that he also offers in that jungle position is something that is invaluable for Origin and their success. And as you, again, keep moving it down, Svenskeren and Blabber running through for Cloud9, and Grig and Acadian bringing up the rear here for North America with TSM at number 6. I just think that, hey, they haven't had any type of real experience internationally to show you what you're going to be getting, what you might be receiving here. This is, I think, a big testing ground here for them. Of course, with not a lot of, repercussions if you fail, given that it is Rift Rivals and there isn't a ton put behind it. But this is a good chance for you to get an international experience, learn some things here from some of these great EU junglers we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, and I think that is underrated. I think this whole event for TSM is going to be great in that regard, especially because you guys already got your break. They didn't go to MSI. They blew the 2-0 lead, so they've had some break here this split, so getting any amount of international competition. And hey, again, you're going against the best region, so that's actually some good experience for Grig and Acadian. When we're talking about mid laners, it's NA versus EU, but for this ranking, it's EU versus EU because it's 6 European mid laners, even though Bjergsen is, of course, NA's adopted son.
Yeah, well, come on, let's give us, let's throw us a little bit here. Let's say it's 5 and 1. We get 1. We get Bjergsen.
Okay, you get 1 in terms of the Danish superstar in Bjergsen, but Caps is obviously I mean, at his peak, he's the best player in the West and one of the best players in the world. So yeah, he's going to come in at number 1. Bjergsen's had a pretty solid split here for summer so far. He's put on some great performances. Jensen right behind him. And Nemesis is a guy who I think by the end of the year, you might be talking about him right in the same category as Bjergsen and Jensen.
Right, and this is one of those interesting things here where you have Caps at number 1, and if you asked us last year, it would have been the rankings of Bjergsen, Jensen, and then finding Caps into there as well, because you just hadn't seen enough in kind of a playoff type of scenario. You hadn't seen him enough internationally providing that type of level of play. Well,
Seen it now.
We can certainly say it now with G2. Absolutely, you got to put Caps there at the number 1. He's earned that position with the international play and everything else here. Bjergsen 2, Jensen 3, of course, ranking them through, if we always do pretty much here in North America. And you're right, Nemesis is someone here who has been really rising. Of course, a rookie this past spring split, someone that you thought, okay, he's going to hold Fnatic back a little bit here. But of course, as we saw, he did emerge as someone that you could put resources through, rely upon being a carry, being someone that will be helping the team out later as the game goes on. He certainly has provided a lot of value for Fnatic early on already, and I'm looking to see that improve even more here at Rift Rivals.
And you see Niski in at number 6. He's actually had a great time on Cloud9, but you look at the 5 mid laners ahead of him, well, they're pretty damn good. So it's not any shade at Niski. It's just some incredible competition in the mid lane, as it usually is in Europe. 80 carries, it's usually the Doublelift show whenever he comes to international competition. But again, not even he can crack into that top spot when we're doing these. I feel like you should still be putting Reckless here, even though Perkz has done so much since the role swap. Let me tell you, the Karma game that Reckless did is not a reason why he's coming in at number 1. He had to do nothing in that game, basically. But the mages in the bottom lane, I feel like, are going to ruin North America.
Hey, this is the time. Now, hey, we're not drunk here. We're, of course, 100% sober. We're throwing Reckless at number 1. We are not this EU podcast over here, leaving outside the top 20 list of players. Nuh-uh, none of that here. Reckless getting the deserved spot here. Number 1, you got to respect what he's able to bring from the AD carry position. Perkz as someone that has earned our respect this year, someone that we had some doubts, some concerns heading into this role swap. They've been answered, and they've been answered all the way to the floor with a resounding yes here from him that he's able to handle it. And then, hey, Doublelift rolls through here, and I don't know what to tell you here about North America's chances that in the position where you have kind of this MVP, this kind of LeBron of North American esports here with League of Legends in Doublelift, and of course, he's ranking 3rd here behind 2 powerhouses in EU.
And I don't know, I mean, G2 is going to have the most fun of any team at this event. I don't know if we see Perkz play an actual marksman in the bottom lane, the whole event. I wouldn't be surprised just to have some fun, play anything he wants.
Hey, man, he's going to be bringing it over here. If he does it over in LEC, does it at MSI, there's no way he won't be breaking it out here for NA to try and pick up some easy wins.
I'm ready for a new pick in the bottom lane. It's been too long. It's probably been a couple of weeks. Let's go to supports, where again, the theme remains the same as of all these rankings. It's G2 and Fnatic jumping back and forth for who comes in that top spot. Couple of Pike Gods and Mickey and Hillisang. Again, I've talked about no one plays that in NA, and if they do not play it well. So you better ban it if you want any hope at this event.
Yeah, it's certainly not the type of champion that any of these, when you look at this list here of the NA supports where you're really worried about them playing that champion, not so much. EU, certainly the first 2, that's what you're thinking here. And I think that this list really does provide here that I think that this is a list of players in support that you're providing a lot of depth and value in strategic playing here from these players. I think when you're talking about Core JJ at number 3, that is one where you might say, hey, depending on what you're looking for from your support in the role on the team, you might want to bump him up to number 2 over Hillisang. But I think right now with the meta and the type of champions that are available for Hillisang to play, he does deserve that number 2 spot on the list.
Yeah, but again, there's a lot of great supports. Mithy in at 4, and I think Zazel and Smoothie. A lot of the TSM players are pretty evenly matched, and you could argue either way, but for the most part, the theme is 5 and 6 because there are some incredibly stacked players at this event. We highlighted it when these teams were actually announced. These were clearly the 3 best teams from EU and North America at the time, and I think that's still the case heading into Rift Rivals, which will probably make it the best event that we've seen out of, I mean, this is only the 3rd one. It hasn't been around that long, but we're still excited for it. Coming up after the break, we will preview the actual event, and is there some way, somehow, you can make an argument that North America has a chance of winning? Welcome back, you beautiful souls, to League Unlocked. Mark and Eric here with you guys to preview the actual main event here at Rift Rivals. NA versus EU did the player rankings. Now the actual matchups. Obviously, Europe, massive favorites coming into this event. And really, the group stage doesn't actually matter that much at this event. So we're specifically talking about that finals relay. Is there some way, shape, or form that North America can actually get a win, Mark?
Yes.
Got to win 3 games.
Yes, there is a way. Is it going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. I'll tell you that one right away. When you're looking at these teams, you're bringing the 3 squads here, as we had talked about when we saw them in the spring, that, hey, these are the 3 best from both regions here. That's the exciting thing, that you are getting the best of the best from both coming over here. And when you look at the overall quality of the 3 teams together, I think when you look at North America, you might have the depth there on your side, going with the 3 squads, able to roll through maybe more or less consistent performances together. And then you look on the Europe side, obviously, with G2 and Fnatic, and you're looking at them as, man, that's a spicy looking sports car over there, ready to roll through and rev up that engine to pump through here this North American lineup. But then you're looking at OG, and of course, this is not trying to say that OG is a bad squad in any type of way here. But I think when you look at how is NA going to get some victories here, this is one that right away has to be the opportunity that you got to take. When OG has to play their match in that relay, you got to be getting your victory against them. Because if you're taking your chances on it being Fnatic and G2, well, GG, it's over already.
Yeah, and the problem is, some of Origin's losses, most of them, I mean, they lost to Fnatic and G2 here in the summer split. They actually played them both pretty close. It was high quality gameplay from them. They weren't complete stomps. There was a lot of back and forth team fighting going on. So they've already gone up against these squads. They've trained against them and looked pretty decent. Yeah, the play style of Origin is much closer to that of North America because they play a whole lot slower than Fnatic and G2 because, well, pretty much everybody, maybe save for Griffin on the planet, plays a whole lot slower than them. So yeah, that's going to be really your only chance. But the problem with the relay is, okay, let's say North America gets a win against Origin. They're probably only playing 1 game.
Yes, please.
So 1 win, you lose 3-1. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem here when you do get into that scenario. That yes, of course, you got to get that win against OG, which is not a guarantee. But even if you do end up getting it, you can't guarantee yourself that you're going to be in the driver's seat moving forward at this event, even with that, because of the strength that G2 and Fnatic are bringing into this event. But if you are a North American fan, one another thing that you can hold out and look forward to in these matches that, hey, if Cloud9's behind, well, I'm sure you're not really looking forward to being Cloud9 being behind. But I'll tell you, they are the squad here that I would feel the most type of confidence for in North America. A team that, hey, if they're a couple thousand gold behind here, a couple turrets behind, you're looking for that team fight where they're going to get that flank and come through and manage to turn it around. I think that is the squad that you could be looking for there in North America. And still, you got strength here. You got Team Liquid. You've got this team that, hey, I think out of all the #1 seeds rolling through here, other than probably Fnatic, I think Team Liquid has shown us the most of them looking probably consistent in their play.
Yeah, I can't wait for Sonateric to be prominent in this event. But yeah, Team Liquid's going to be, as has been the theme the last 3 international events, they're the big hope for North America, at least coming into the event. We'll see how they match up stylistically. I expect NA to get some wins, at least in this round robin stage. But yeah, when the best ofs come, I do maybe see EU doing a little bit of BM and maybe doing some insane drafts against North America, but I am just hard pressed to see any combination of North American teams getting 3 wins in a best of. Even if Origin plays a couple of games, I think they're pretty closely matched with, at the very least, TSM and Cloud9.
The biggest problem when you're talking about that and I'm watching all these plays, I'm just like, man, how are they going to lose that many times here to these North American squads?
The quality's so much lower in all the North American games, even just some of the team fighting that you're seeing.
Yeah, you know what? I still think that this one obviously is heavily favored for EU. There are certainly opportunities and chances.
Jet lag, though. They got to come to America.
Always got to be thinking about that jet lag. There's certainly chances here for these North American squads to get it done. So this is one of those ones where, hey, I don't want any excuses. If you're the winners, you are the winners of this event. Good on you. You are the better region for sure. But hey, if you come in through here and you're EU, you're talking all this trash, you're posting all them clown memes all over Twitter, that type of thing, and you don't back it up here with a smashing performance to that level, there's a lot of pressure on EU to deliver a very clean performance here against North America. And I think, hey, if you're looking for NA to pull through the underdog card, no pressure here whatsoever, no expectations. You got to roll through, pull off what the unthinkable is. And hey, put your heart into Broken Blade. BB will be the heart and soul of North America here. Yeah. He'll rally everyone around the team.
Good old North American boy, German, who played in the Turkish league. You know,
that is NA to the core right there.
Just NA to the core. But let's just all remember, we're on the same side because the gap is still closing. And even though Europe is the best region right now, we're still the West. So we're fighting together. Let's just have fun, no flame, enjoy the matches because there's sure to be some fireworks at this event. And that's it today for League Unlocked. Eric and Mark, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.